for tuning into the Weather Network. Kelly and Michelle here with you. We saw quite a bit of wintry weather in portions of Atlantic Canada over the weekend. Blizzard warnings for parts of Newfoundland, over 30 centimeters of snow, and we have more wintry weather on the way.
Yeah, it's all associated with this area of low pressure, Kelly, that's actually spawning some pretty severe weather, but it tracks up the eastern seaboard, and for parts of eastern Canada, we're talking about some pretty significant snow.
Yeah, now the last couple days it's been giving forecasters quite a headache. Significant snowfall. Some models keeping it completely out. Now it looks like we're probably going to see a little bit of light snow late day Monday. So much of the day Monday in southern Ontario, maybe dreary, a little bit foggy Monday night into Tuesday.
Yeah, now for parts of southern Quebec, it's not going to be light snow. It is going to be impactful snow. So here's what we're thinking. And again, Monday night through Tuesday, it's looking like Montreal into the eastern townships have the potential.
We know the system has a lot of moisture associated with it. It is drawing up moisture from the Gulf of Mexico as well as the Atlantic Ocean. So whatever type of precipitation you see, if you're in the bulk of it, you're going to be seeing significant amounts. And towards parts of Atlantic Canada, northern parts of New Brunswick, you could be seeing over 20 centimeters as well, but true blizzard right there. And even into Sunday, you know, they weren't seeing that heavy snow, but the winds were still strong, so still blowing all of that snow on the ground around, and we've got more snow on the way for you. So yeah, don't worry. But we've got some rain, quite a bit of localized flooding, because a lot of moisture with this system.
Yeah, so we've talked as well about the ice pellets, but there's also the potential for some widespread freezing rain through parts of the Maritimes and into Newfoundland. And freezing rain is really the big concern here. Ice pellets, slippery, but freezing rain that sticks to the ground, and that's what can cause accidents and slips and falls too.
That's right. And speaking of freezing rain, we've been seeing quite a bit of freezing drizzle across the prairies these last couple days. And yeah, that's the perfect recipe for some freezing drizzle. A little bit of light snow as well these last couple days, and that's going to continue as we head into Monday and Tuesday, but not a lot of snow.
Yeah, I mean, for southern Alberta, 2 to 5 centimeters, but not even reaching as far north as Calgary. Just some overcast conditions for you.
That these will likely start to fall or drop down to either moderate or low for the areas, because not a lot of precipitation expected over the next couple days, but we still do have that special public avalanche warning to northern portions of the Rockies because it's been so dry, so cold to start off the winter season, and then we got all of this moisture and mild temperatures, just a very unstable snowpack. But Michelle, drier conditions expected.
There's that ridge of high pressure building in. You can find out your temperatures with your local forecast right now, and then hope you had a nice weekend, and thanks for making the Weather Network a part of it. I'm Michelle Mackey, joined by meteorologist Kelly Sonnenburg. We'll get you right across the country. But let's talk about what's happening now in Ontario. We're dealing with quite a bit of fog.
Yeah, it's been the same story this whole weekend. Mist got to 13 degrees on Saturday. These drizzly, mild temperatures are going to stick around for at least Monday morning and afternoon.
Yeah, it really doesn't feel like January, does it? But this is certainly a January thaw. But we do have a pretty wintry system that's moving in for Monday. So rounds of moisture expected in southern Ontario in the form of rain to start the day. But then check this out.
And most people are usually wondering, is this going to impact my commute?
Always the commute.
Am I going to have to wake up early? Am I going to have to leave early? Am I going to get home? Because, you know, a little bit of snow falls and then everything comes to a standstill. But we are likely not going to see the snow move into the GTA for Monday evening. It'll be Tuesday morning that we'll probably still be seeing a little bit of light snow.
Yeah, and only about 5 centimeters or less at this point, but as you were saying, yeah, it doesn't take a lot to really slow things down. Now, this is also going to impact Quebec, Atlantic Canada, a messy mix starting in the Maritimes Tuesday and then Wednesday for Newfoundland.
Now, we know this system has a lot of moisture associated with it, getting drawn up from the Gulf of Mexico, the Atlantic Ocean, so areas that do see that snow could be seeing a significant amount, eastern townships of Quebec. But at this point, we think much of southern Ontario, either a trace to maybe 2 to 4 centimeters. The heaviest will be towards parts of Quebec and northern parts of New Brunswick.
So a couple things. It's all about the timing of the transition from rain to snow in southern Ontario and the track of this system. But stay with us at the Weather Network. We'll continue to follow it. Here's a quick glimpse at what we're expecting for Atlantic Canada. Freezing rain is a concern.
Yeah, and significant snow to northern parts of New Brunswick and the Gaspé. And speaking of significant snow, let's head on up to northern Ontario and show you some of the snowy scenes we've been seeing. Yeah, we do have the risk for the freezing rain, like Michelle said, and some more snow on the way for the prairies.
Yeah, now not a lot of snow, but this is all thanks to a low pressure system that's kind of just hanging out longer than it should. But for BC, great news. A ridge of high pressure is building in, sunshine, mild temperatures, and well deserved. We'll break that down for you next in the Long Ranger.
Let's break down the weather stories we've been following across the country this weekend. Blizzard impacted Newfoundland. Over 30 centimeters of snow fell. It's been dreary, it's been wet and mild across the Great Lakes and Quebec. Quite a bit of fog in place over the last few days. Just some light snow with temperatures closer to seasonal or a little bit above. And finally, improving conditions on the west coast. We've got a nice ridge of high pressure building in as we head into next week. But not the case for eastern Canada. No, a significant low tracking up the eastern seaboard could be bringing in over 20 centimeters of snow to portions of southern Quebec. Through southern Ontario, just a little bit of light mixing and a little bit of light snow can be expected through Monday night and Tuesday. And so long sunshine, yeah, we haven't seen the sun very much in the last few days, and it doesn't look like it's going to be making an appearance much over next week. We're going to be dealing with a little bit of snow over the next couple days, and still the prairies dealing with some snow. Those mild temperatures coming to an end. Temperatures are returning closer to seasonal, and temperatures closer to seasonal for BC as well. With the sunshine, we've got a ridge building in, but here's more with Chris St. Clair. Your Weather Watch continues here on the Weather Network. Kelly and Michelle here with you, and we've got some very mild temperatures to talk about in southern Ontario. Record-breaking heat.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I was a fan.
I was loving it. I know it was overcast, but I'll take it when we're dealing with record-breaking heat. Winds are up to 13 on Saturday, 11 in London. Mild air is sticking around for Monday, but a change is coming.
And, you know, with that milder air, we've been dealing with a little bit of mist, a little bit of fog. There are quite a few fog advisories in place for southern Ontario for Sunday night into Monday, and you can see all of that low-level cloud, low-level moisture in place. Expect that drizzle to persist, but Michelle, like you said, there's that system that's bringing actually quite a bit of severe weather through the Gulf states of the U.S., but for us, it's going to be bringing in some mixing and some snow.
Yeah, and just a note quickly on the Gulf states of the U.S., from Mississippi to Georgia on Saturday, 26 reported tornadoes.
Wow.
So it's a pretty big deal stateside. It obviously is going to play out very differently for us, but let's just watch it track up.
Powerful system for parts of Quebec and Atlantic Canada. It really ramps up once it gets into the Gulf of Maine, so heavy amounts of snow expected to areas like Ottawa, Montreal. Give yourself extra time for that Tuesday morning commute if you live in that region. And then parts of the Maritimes, snow, ice, and rain on the way.
Okay, we'll talk more about how much snow we're expecting in just a moment, but first things first, it kind of looks like a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. No, that I don't want to be a part of.
I actually would want to be a part of that. I think that would be fun. Okay, anyways, back to the weather. Here's how much snow we're forecasting.
Over 20 centimeters for portions of the eastern townships, of 10 to 20, but northern parts of New Brunswick and the Gas Bay will be seeing significant snow with this system as well, along with quite a bit of ice.
Ice pellets thrown in the mix, but freezing rain, always dangerous when we're talking about driving and even walking. You can slip, you can fall, you can really hurt yourself.
Yeah, and parts of the prairies have been dealing with freezing rain, freezing drizzle this past weekend, especially northern portions of the prairies. Still a little bit of light snow lingering down in the south. Locally, 5 to 15 centimeters. What's tapering off is all of that active weather to the BC coast.
Yeah, good news. High pressure building in for you, sunshine and mild temperatures. Okay, up next Well, I hope you had a great weekend. I'm Michelle Mackey, joined by my good friend and co-worker, Kelly Sonnenburg. We've got a lot to talk about, and if you're wondering why we're showing you the USA, well, this is the source of our next major low for eastern Canada.
Yeah, Michelle's right. This energy down in the Gulf states right now, this energy tracking up the U.S. Eastern seaboard, going to become a powerful nor'easter for parts of upstate New York. Yeah, it's going to be bringing quite a bit of messy weather for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, we're talking about rain in southern Ontario. Monday night as those temperatures drop, that's when we'll see that transition to snow, but the heaviest snow, that'll be into parts of southeastern Ontario, Quebec, and northern New Brunswick.
Yeah, take a look at this snowfall forecast. It's got lots of moisture getting drawn up from the Gulf of Mexico, so over 20 centimeters can be expected in those regions, maybe even just east of Kingston, northern New Brunswick as well, though. You're going to see a lot of snow.
And you know who doesn't need any more snow? Newfoundland. We had a blizzard over the weekend. This is what it left behind. It's of snow.
Lucky you. That's great. And you get to shovel all of that away. Well, the good news, they have nice toned
That's right.
muscles.
You get a workout.
Yeah, I need that.
I mean, I could go for that too. But we're also talking about the risk of some ice pellets and some freezing rain.
Yes, system especially focused to parts of New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island through the day Tuesday. It'll be more of a concern into Newfoundland for Wednesday. but a lot of rain as well. So we're dealing with the snow, some localized flooding concern.
Yeah, I always say in the winter, it's not the amount of rain that falls, it's what it's falling on to. So frozen ground or snow, and that's where we see the problem. So we saw the ice pellets like PEI, southern New Brunswick, interior Nova Scotia, and then right across Newfoundland.
Now, we've also been seeing a little bit of freezing rain, a little bit of freezing drizzle this past weekend. Temperatures aloft, colder temperatures at the surface. That's your recipe for some freezing rain. Colder temperatures down in the south, so that's where we are seeing some snow.
Yeah, now, good news for BC. We're actually seeing things clear out.
Yes.
But we're
going to stick around through Monday, and then we'll probably see that special public warning drop. But again, still be aware if you are doing any sort of backcountry skiing. The good news, not really a lot of moisture to talk about. It's been so wet and soggy these last couple of weeks.
Right now, your local weather story begins, and then the Alert Ready system. It's put in place to warn you. The details on this Canada-wide notification system are next. But first,
Universal's Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida.
now this is the wizarding world of Harry Potter. It's set in England, and I know England, it's pretty cool, it's pretty dreary. That is not the case here in Central Florida, where through the winter, your seasonal daytime highs average out in the low 20s. Really nice and comfortable. To experience this for yourself, you can enter for a chance to win a family trip to Universal Orlando Resort at theweathernetwork.com.
Well, we've got a quick weather update for you, and then we're going to check in with Suzanne Leonard, who has a pretty interesting story about a piece of ice down in Antarctica that is bigger than the city of Ottawa. It's about to break off, so we'll have details on that in just about a minute and a half. So let's talk about, though, all the active weather that's set to impact eastern Canada. We've got widespread tornado watches and warnings stateside down in Florida. This system is on the way for us, but we're going to be seeing mixing through southern Ontario, significant snow to eastern Ontario, southern Quebec. Portions of Quebec could be seeing over 20 centimeters of snow. It'll also be impacting portions of Atlantic Canada as well, with widespread freezing rain and ice as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. And speaking about all of this active weather, we really haven't seen the sun because it's been dreary, it's been wet, a little bit of drizzle and fog has been impacting southern Ontario. So long, sunshine, we probably won't see you for the next 2 or 3 days at least. And temperatures across the prairies are finally returning back to seasonal. We've been dealing with above seasonal temperatures with mild Pacific air pushing east of the Rockies. Now we're going to get into more of a broad trough over Western Canada. Alberta, your temperatures returning back to seasonal as we head into Monday and Tuesday, and Saskatchewan and Alberta, or Saskatchewan and Manitoba rather, will be returning closer to seasonal later on in the week. Now, for parts of British Columbia, we finally have some dry weather ahead, a beautiful ridge of high pressure building in, so we've got sunny skies and temperatures closer to seasonal. Okay, let's check in with Suzanne Leonard right now.